I shoot my picture, and then I'm going to move her a little bit. See? A little bit. Maybe move her head a little bit, right? And then take another picture. Come along and enjoy with me the making of Monster High Spectra Wondergeist. Now for still photos, normally I will take a still photo of the product using the same lights I use for my video set. Perhaps I'll just bring them in closer. But for this video, I wanted some stop motion animation, and I wanted to show a picture of the doll in front of my background, so I needed it masked out. I needed to have transparent background there. So I use this very low-tech light stand setup to make good sharp pictures of the dolls that I use for those. Let me show you how that works. What I've got here is a set of portable bookshelves frames that are real cheap. I got them from a hardware store. I've got a piece of plexiglass here, but this could just as well be a piece of wood. And I've got a backdrop. This one's blue. I also have a white one that I use for a backdrop. This is just like school construction paper that you can get at your grocery store. These lamps are clip-on portable lamps, and I picked these up at a farm supply store. They're meant to be used to hold heat lamps for poultry, raising little chicks. And these aren't heat lamps. These are daylight balanced fluorescent bulbs. You can use pretty much any bulb, as long as you should try to keep all the same kinds of bulbs. And then I'm going to do a white balance on these. Let me show you how that works. Now typically for shooting product photos, you have to do a white balance. So you have to make the colors look right. And normally I'm going to shoot the white balance using what's called a gray card. You can get these at typical photo stores. They're called a neutral gray card. It's gray colored, and you set the white balance on this, and all the colors should be kind of neutral, matched to the typical daylight. Well, the funny thing is, though, daylight changes color from morning to noon till evening. So, but anyway, here's what the doll picture looks like with the white background using the gray card for color balance. All right, but now see, for our video, I'm shooting at night. The scene is at night, right? And so nighttime colors are cool. They're not so reddish. And also, if I use the white background, there might be a little bit of white tint left around the doll. So I'm going to try this blue background to see if it won't match into the nighttime colors. And also for the white balance, I'm going to use my special cards. This one's called Cool 2. This matches the card that I use for my video setting for the nighttime scene. And so here's what it looks like for the doll with the blue background and the Cool 2 white balance. You see, it's a lot different. It's a lot darker, but it should match more like the nighttime scene that I made. Also, another trick for these masking, because I'm going to mask out the sides of the doll, right? The background is going to disappear, be transparent, and then we'll show the background scene. And to help with that, I've got some of my lights set so that they shine behind the doll. Let me show you there. See, some of these lights are shining directly into the doll from behind, and some of the lights are shining on the background. They make the background nice and bright. And then I've got regular lights in the front as well to light her up properly in front. Now the stop motion animation, it's always tricky, right? And it takes a lot of time. To help with that, generally I shoot all my product photos with the camera on a good heavy tripod. See, this is a very strong tripod. You don't want the camera to move or shake at all. Also, to get the sharpest picture possible, I usually set the shutter speed at 1/20th of a second. That's very slow, so you need a tripod for that anyway. And to make even less vibration, I have a remote shutter release that I just push this button and the shutter goes, right? And then for stop motion animation, just as you don't want the camera to move, you don't want the doll to move either. The doll must be, the position of the doll must be the same for each picture. You're going to move the arms and legs maybe, but you want the doll to stay in the same place. That's the tricky part, and I really haven't figured this out well yet. You still need a doll stand, because dolls and action figures, they might stand up by themselves, but once you start trying to pose them, maybe one leg in the air or something, they always fall over. So you got to fix them down somehow. And I've got some weights on here, some washers to try to hold it in one place. I might also put a line there with a pencil so I know where it is in case it moved. And otherwise, I'm still trying to figure this out. If you've got some good suggestions for how to hold a doll down and a good stand for a doll, I'd like to hear it. But what I would do basically is I get her fixed down in place, and you know, I shoot my picture, and then I'm going to move her a little bit. See, a little bit. Maybe move her head a little bit, right? And then take another picture. On and on. And see, and you do a little bit more and a little bit more until you've got your full animation. It's also good to have the finish, know where you're going to finish at, like with the arms up here, and make sure that the camera's framed so that it captures the full range. Like when our arms are all the way up, you can capture that as well as when they're all the way down. Set that all up beforehand, and then go ahead and start your animation. Also, another trick to know is that as you're raising our arms up, and if you just wanted to raise your arms up and down again, you just need to raise your arms up, see? And then to go down, you just kind of reverse that. And so you got two moves you can do like that. I move her legs a little bit too. Well, here's a look at what it looks like, the series of pictures I took for the stop motion animation, with the blue background still on, see? And then I use Photoshop, and I crop out the background. I make it transparent, and now you can see what it looks like with the transparent background. And then I can put the two together. I can put in the video editing software, I can put the photos over top of my background, and then have the doll move like this, see? And I can have the background move too, and she could fly through the background like this. So that's pretty interesting, huh?
To kill me, I guess I'm doing okay. I'm lost among the millions, just an empty head filled with the sky. I separated my life between the boring